What's up? It's Kit, time for another video. Today, we will add another video to the jig rigging library. And I wasn't supposed to do this, but when I saw it, I was like, hey, that's a very good opportunity. So I'm going to show that. Okay? So this particular video is going to be called Let's Learn with Wael. Okay? Not just any Wael, it's Let's Learn with the Wael. Alright, so we're gonna be re-rigging this 400-gram Drepper. Okay? And as you can see, our very good friend TheWael has rigged this with good hooks. Okay, these are, I think, well, these are owners, I think JF41s. Okay, okay, hook size is good. As you can see, the cord he used, kind of questionable. So the whole idea of this thing is there. Okay, I told them that to separate the rear hook from the front, different colors, you know, black up front, just as long as you're consistent. For me, it's white on top and any other color at the back. Okay, so for him, he put blue and then black. But as you can see, his cord kind of very questionable. Alright, I'm just looking if this has a plastic sheath. Alright, so we're gonna fix this today. Now, I'm gonna show you, this is 400 grams, okay? So I'm gonna show you how I do things so that it's kind of, there's a flow to things. What I usually do is take a cord, okay? This is 320. So you round it down to 300. And then this is 400. So let's say it's minus 100. Okay? So if you put this together with the hook, you'll find that the hook is only slightly thicker than the cord. That's not going to give you a lot of movement. Okay? It's not going to, it's probably going to miss quite a few fish because the objective or the idea of the assist hooks is so that they would actually kind of move together with the jig. Okay, what we're going to do is we are going to take all of these off. We're going to reuse the hook. And we are going to reuse all the hooks and choose the proper cord for this. I'm pretty sure that there's actually a lot of people that have this question: how do you size your cord according to your jigs? And this is a very, very good example. I would use this as a guideline, not something that you really should stick to. Okay, at least this is let's say a very good starting point. Okay, it might not solve all of your problems, but it's a very good starting point for a lot of you guys out there. Okay, so he tied the cord correctly, not as clean, but he tied it correctly. So you have to give that guy some props for effort. And obviously he learned from me, so how he tied it, the idea was there, the skill is not. So still a lot of practice needed. Alrighty. Okay, that's one. And the cord size, of course, I'm gonna show you a cord that he has, and it's one of those things that, oh my god, he needs to pay attention. See, Wael, he he listens to a few bits and then kind of skips. He kind of skips a lot, and then he says like, "Oh, I followed everything," but he skips through a lot. Okay, so this is a very good example. Alright, so we have one hook down. We have 3 more to go. So he glued this, and I'm pretty sure. So the glue is just on top. It hasn't actually penetrated inside, which means he didn't give the glue time to go in. He just zapped it with an accelerant as soon as he slobbered everything, and you shouldn't do that. Okay, so the proper way to do it is to apply the glue, leave it for a few seconds, even leave it for a minute or so. Give the glue time to actually go inside the binding, and if you do that, you'll have a very hard time taking it off, and that's when you know that you've done it correctly. It's stuck in there. As you can see here, it's fluffed in the middle. When you reach the binding part, it fluffs up. Boom. See? So it means that it didn't fuse. Okay, so which actually kind of is cool, because we could just take this off easy. At least it's not gonna be difficult for us. But keep note, guys, that when you're doing something like this is actually something that you need to pay attention to. Alright? Alright. So, very easy. This is 400. This is number 40. Take 10 off. Alrighty? And you'll see that it kind of matches up. Okay? This is roughly half the diameter of the hook as well. And the capacity of this with the core is actually 200 pounds, I believe. Yep, 200 lb. Okay, so we're just gonna use the shell, the outer, and we're taking the cord inside off, and the cord inside actually it contributes towards the strength, the 200. So if we take it off and put the fluorocarbon, it will actually be, let's say, it'll be probably 100 something. Okay, just take note. Now we are going to do the back hook first, and this is already kind of soft. This is stiff now, but it will get soft after, okay, after use. So all we have to do is, because remember that we are going to pretty much do the same thing that he did, only we're correcting it. So the style here is that he used offsets, okay, or he put offsets, so we're gonna do offsets as well. And as you could see, he made a stopper knot, so we're gonna do that as well. Okay, so like that. Now, easier way to tie. Again, this is kind of a review for a lot of people, but this is kind of something new probably for the guys that are new. Okay, so I'm gonna actually, you know what? I'm gonna move this camera like that so that you can see. All right. So basically, um, like right now, what you could see here. Okay, so you can see here that I tied it upside down. I'm putting it upside down for a few reasons. Okay, so if you're tying it like this, you're able to actually hold the hook like that, kind of keep things in position, and it's easy for you to wrap. Okay, so what I'm doing now is to make this as tight as possible, cut off much of it before I actually burn it. Now, depending on the type of cord that you have, it would either ball up or kind of disintegrate. This is the type that actually kind of disintegrates, as you can see there. So burning it doesn't really do much. Okay, now he used cord, we're gonna use cord. I'm actually gonna use a different color cord so that you could see. Now, it's always good practice, even in fly fishing we do this, or fly tying, to actually lay down a bed of thread base, we call it. Okay, so from there, cut off the excess. As you can see, I'm putting gaps. Okay, you can just cover the shank, or you could put gaps. It's really up to you, but I'll tell you the reason why I'm putting gaps there. Okay, now when I wrap this, I will also spiral and put gaps. Okay, so this is one way of doing things, but this is a very good way of doing things. Okay, now I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see exactly what's happening. Okay, right there. Now you see that? You take your super glue and you put it on the side, not the top, the side. Okay, so just like that. Oops. And then, so now that I put too much there, I have a chopstick that I sharpened here for that reason. Okay, I'm gonna take and put it over to the side right here. Make sure that it's covered. Okay, see that? Like so. Okay, now once the gaps are covered, what you do is tie. Okay, so as you go there, what you do is make sure that you fill out all the gaps. Now I am tying this super tight, and this bobbin that I have has a drag adjustment over here, this side. Okay, so that every single time I wrap, it wraps really tight. So when you're doing this, what you're actually doing is sandwiching the glue in between the braid, and you're filling the gaps. Okay, now if there's excess, all you have to do is just spread it around like so. Again, find gaps, fill it. Touching turns. Okay, touching turns, going back. That way you know that you're filling each and every single gap. And then again, going forward, touching turns. This is how you make it really clean. But I know that it's kind of difficult for people that just tie assist hooks. But in fly tying, this is a very basic skill, just thread control. Okay, so, and then either you do your half hitches or whatever you use to lock your knot. Pull tight, like so. Okay. Bang. Now, you apply more super glue and spread it around, because what you want to do, this is kind of like the last coating. Okay. Okay, now, because I ran out of accelerant, I'm going to put this to the side. And I'm going to put it where there's no air movement. So that the knot, or sorry, the binding doesn't get the binding does not get disturbed, and it will dry really clean and clear. Now I'm gonna start with the front hook. Okay, so with the front hook, it's gonna be shorter than what we have for the back. Okay, so about that. Now this is kind of easy because of the stoppers. Okay, so all you have to do is kind of measure where you want them to end, like so. So for this one, it should be there. Alright, so we do that, and then we have an allowance for the knots. So just like that. Okay, then knot here. Always put a tag end, because guess what? That tag end is gonna help you tighten everything. Okay, so we're gonna put 2 knots on each end, like so. Okay, loop it around. That's the easiest way. See, tag end, pull, and then it will be tight, like so. Do the same here. Okay, but this is actually wrong. Alright, now for the front, what we need to do is measure where it ends up. There. Okay, we need that length. We double up, like so. Okay, cut. Now, very important for the front, of course, is the core. Take that off, and we replace it with fluorocarbon. Okay. Okay, run the fluorocarbon through. Cut this, and then we tie knots at the end for stoppers. Just extra insurance. Shimano does this. Okay, so all the OSHA assist hooks are tied like this. Okay, and then do the same here. Actually, quite a clean way to do it. Not my favorite, but quite a clean way to do things. Actually kind of makes it easy and gives you a sense of security because of the knot. Alright, so we do that. We cut the tags, and then I burn them. Now the fluorocarbon core actually kind of fuses and makes a ball, so that's cool. Okay, there we go. Now again, as with the other one, we will tie and we will spiral. Okay, now if you want a thread base that doesn't have gaps, go ahead and do that if that makes you comfortable. For me, I have learned to put the gaps because what I want is for the super glue to fuse with the braid or the cord, okay, with the binding and with the shank. That's why I put a gap when I do this. Okay, so the cord absorbs the cord absorbs the glue, fuses with the fluorocarbon inside, fuses with the shank, and when you wrap, it actually fuses with the wrappings. So basically, everything is going to be encased in plastic. It helps protect the thread, makes the thread stronger, the binding stronger. And you'll know that you're doing it right because the change of the color of your binding thread, it becomes somewhat translucent. Okay. Now, spread. It's going to squeeze the glue out. Spread it around. Now, if you put enough glue, you don't have to put a coating. And it seems to be the case here. Okay, so okay, tighten. You could see that the color changes. Okay, cut this with a knife so it's very close, and then, I mean, if you want to have a better look at it, okay, you could take it off and then spread it around like so. At this point, it'll be like a gel. Don't be afraid, just spread it as evenly as you can, like so, and then set it aside and take the one that we previously tied, which should have dried up now. Okay, so you could see there, it's dry and it's clean. Okay, now make a knot here. Okay, by the way, one of the things that I forgot to mention earlier is that your cord should be stronger than your hook. Okay, um, ideally if you if you pull on the cord, it is enough to stretch out the hook. Okay, take note, it should be strong enough to be able to bend the hook. Very important. So if your hook is, let's say, uh, it starts to bend at 150, this is 200. Okay, so take note, it's not random, you have to pair them. Okay, so we clean this one up. We repeat the process. We put a spiral. It's up to you if you want to put a a full base, but for me, having the hook shank exposed just kind of makes it stronger. Okay, so first we actually fold this and tape it so that we don't get in trouble. So a lot of people think that I'm wasting tape, But fact of the matter is, I'm saving my fingers from getting impaled, which I have unfortunately experienced quite a lot of times. Okay, and also it is very important that you are able to adjust the space so that if you have stuff like too close to your desk, you don't hit it and impale yourself by accident, because that's exactly what happened to me before. Alright, so now we're gonna put some glue again on the side here. Okay, now if you have placed too much, again, just take it to the side right there, spread it around like so. Okay, and then start your wraps. There we go. Now, if you actually have a little bit of excess in the glue, what happens is that when you tighten, your knot kind of disappears. So that's when you know that you don't need more glue. Okay, so just make sure. Okay, this one needs a bit more. Just a tad bit. Okay, now again we put this aside. Just making sure that there's glue on the bottom side as well. So that's dry. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in so you guys can see. Okay, and then we'll adjust this. Alright, so kind of mid-range, just so you guys can see exactly what's happening. Okay, and then spiral. Spiral out, like so. Excess. Okay, I'm going to show you guys exactly how it looks like. There we go. So you see the spiral. Okay. Just going to go ahead and tape this so that I don't get in trouble. Okay. You see that? Drop that down there. Okay. Okay. You see how strong the drag is? Okay. And that's also one reason why you put it upside down, so you could put your finger there, your thumb, and then you could just manipulate, hold the hook in place. You see the gaps that I'm putting? Okay. Like that. Okay. Now the glue. So just so you see, put it on your side first. The glue, you see the glue? There. Okay. Then on my side, there we go. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to take the glue. See, put it on top, distribute it so it doesn't drip your side. Okay. Now, watch what happens when I wrap. You see the thread kind of disappear. Okay, all you have to do now is fill the gaps. I'm going to change my glasses. This one sees, there we go, I can see more detail. Okay, take this. Just spread it, continuously spread it. Touching turns with your thread. Okay, just like that. Fill the gaps. Go. I'm gonna go down once more. Okay. And then go back up again. This is the last one. I'm just making sure that I'm filling out all the gaps. Perfect. Alright, now I'm gonna tighten this. I'm gonna make this locking knot. Okay. There we go. Just like that. Pull tight. There we go. Now, all that's left is to spread the glue around, making sure that is all well covered. And that is done. Now, okay, I'm just going to take this again, set it aside, and this would be dry. Okay, so this was the last one that we had. Should be dry now. We have no accelerator, so we ran out, so we have no choice but to set them aside while we're working with the other one, which is fine. Now, if you don't have an accelerator, you could actually just put a bit of water, but again, that's gonna kind of make things dirty because this actually dries up with moisture. So if you spray it with water, a mist, it will dry up, but it'll look ugly. Alright, so again, back hook, okay? So he wanted it offset as well, so we take a solid ring, okay, so we have number 6 welded rings. Take 2. Okay, already has welded rings here, but they don't match, so we're taking these. These are far too small. Learn with Wael. You won't see me use this color. I actually don't like this color. I don't like green. So I really don't use a lot of green. It doesn't mean to say that green doesn't catch. It's just that I don't like green. Alright, so offset. So you need a pull tool. Okay. We use this because I made it. Okay. And we're gonna put like that offset. We won't do too much. Okay, you could do that much. Okay, up to that much for this. Okay, which we won't do. So for this, we will do just a 2-step offset. There we go. Just like that. This is the back hook. Okay, we're just putting the twist. So I really distribute this knot properly, this loop, okay, before I put it onto the pulling tool. Okay, now I'll tighten this thing. So see here, we have our offset. All we have to do is just set this, and then that's beautiful. Okay, now we go back to our front hook. Okay, now same offset. Okay, so we have our front hook. Just fix it up a bit. So our front offset and our rear offset hooks, and this is actually kind of stiff up front. Okay, okay, there's our front hook. Now all we need to do is just put it together and see how it looks like. So front hook. Now we have a jig. Okay, these hooks. Want to hook something. So we have a jig that has like the hooks. See? It doesn't look anorexic. Not like the ones that YL made. Alright, proportions are actually kind of good. And I tell you, these will hook and catch some really big ones. Alrighty, so there we go. That's the Drepper with 2 offsets. Okay, there we go. Just so you can see. Whoop. There we go. That's the shot right there. Alright, so 2 offset hooks, correcting what YL has made using the same hooks. Alrighty, so if you learned something from this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want your friends to learn with you, share this video. And if you haven't yet and you want to learn more, click on the subscribe button. If you want to support this channel even more, okay, please go ahead and click on the join or subscribe button, and that just helps this channel progress faster. Okie dokie, that is it, and we are putting this in the sheath. If you have questions, drop them in the comment section. I always answer, as you know, no matter how painful it is sometimes. Alrighty, so that's it for now. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Class dismissed.